formulas of essential oils for treating specific health conditions, including essential oils for cancer, essential oils for your brain and nerve system, essential oils for boosting your energy levels to have in the afternoon or before a workout, and those types of things, and a few other ideas I think you'll like. Also, I'll talk about some of my favorites. So for starters, let's talk about how essential oils have been used over the years and why you should start using essential oils. Well, first, let's talk about modern medicine. When you look at modern medicine today, most medicine has been taken from essential oils or created synthetically from that. It's a similar thing if you look at a lot of beauty products. If you look at, let's say, wintergreen essential oil, the compound they took out of that was where they got the idea for aspirin, actually, baby aspirin. Or if you look at, let's say, certain things in perfumes, they might have gotten those from rose oil, jasmine oil, bergamot, or sandalwood. So most male and female perfumes and colognes were taken from that. But again, most medicine today was taken from, the idea was taken from a plant, and then they go and find a way to synthetically create it, which is going to be toxic to the body, where essential oils are natural, and they're really very gentle on the body, and your body knows how to work with plants and those oil-based compounds. And throughout history, essential oils have been used. In fact, if you read the Bible, you'll find over 300 references to essential oils in the Bible. Essential oils were used to inaugurate kings and queens. And so when you read in the Bible, anoint your head with oil, it was actually a very specific essential oil blend of cinnamon oil, cassia, calamus, myrrh essential oil, along with olive oil. And they would mix these oils together and pour it over the head as a sign of wealth. Or if somebody was sick during the days of the Bible, they would use those essential oils and pray for them for healing. If you've ever read in the Bible where the three wise men bring the infant Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Well, frankincense and myrrh were worth as much as gold was during those days, and the reason is they were the most effective forms of plant-based medicine. And so frankincense, for instance, was used during that time to reduce bruising. It's great with working with the nerve system, so they would have rubbed it on a child after birth to really support their growth and development and to protect their immune system. Myrrh essential oil is a natural antiseptic, and so they would have rubbed it around the umbilical cord to keep that area from getting infected after birth. They would have used it on Mary to help her heal. There's many benefits of that with hormones. And so again, essential oils were used widely throughout the Bible. In fact, Esther in the Bible, she did 6 months of beauty treatments before she got married with essential oils, with myrrh oil and other floral oils, probably jasmine, rose, and lavender. And so again, as you can see, lavender oil is used widely in the Bible. Also, they were used in Chinese medicine and Egyptian medicine. In fact, they found several hundred liters empty or partly empty alabaster jars of essential oils in King Tut's tomb. And it's actually been documented that Cleopatra opened the first beauty salon, or spa, I should say. She opened the first spa, and she used essential oils in her treatments. Also, Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, he's famous for saying, "Let food be thy medicine." He prescribed essential oils for healing over 2,000 years ago. So why was it used so widely throughout the Bible and throughout Egyptian and Chinese medicine? Well, the reason is essential oils are really easy to extract from plants. In fact, essential oils are basically extracted through what's called distillation or cold pressing. So most floral oils, like a lavender oil, have steam come up through the plant, which separates the oil from the water. So you get the essential oil, and then you get a water-based compound. But again, the essential oils are the oil-based compound. If you ever pick up, let's say, a rose and smell it, or a peppermint leaf and smell the peppermint leaf, what you're actually smelling is the essential oil, okay? And listen, there's nothing added, there's no chemicals added. Essential oils are created, true essential oils are created through just simply taking those aromatic compounds from the plant. And most essential oils are a concentration of about 10 to 70 times what you would find in the normal plant. So if you have, like, let's say, oil of oregano, you can take a dried herb of oregano, but the oil of oregano will be typically maybe like a 50 times concentration. So you're getting very, very very high levels of those therapeutic healing compounds. And I think this is amazing. But in order to equal one single, just a 15 milliliter bottle, which is about the size of your thumb, but a 15 milliliter bottle of lavender essential oil, it takes about 150 pounds of lavender flowers. So think about that, 150 pound. Think about holding up a 150-pound plate in order to equal something that weighs less than a pound, and that's how many flowers or plants it takes in order to equal one single bottle of essential oils. Now, essential oils work because, again, they're very high in those therapeutic compounds. Like ginger, for instance, contains gingerols, or frankincense contains something called sequestranes, or other compounds that we know have really powerful healing effects on the body. And the other great thing about essential oils is the compounds are very small. They can actually pass into the cell wall and actually affect, or they can be used in destroying viruses and pathogenic bacteria and parasites and other diseases that get into your body. And so this is why, one reason why essential oils are so effective, and why I've recommended them to patients for years now, why I've used them myself. My wife uses them for everything. We use them because they are so gentle on the body. They've been used for thousands of years, and they're effective. They work, in my opinion, and if you read medical journals, better than our current medicines out there today. And here's the other incredible thing about essential oils. They're used as natural medicine to treat a number of chronic illnesses. But also they're just used for basic things like beauty, like reducing aging marks, like sunspots or stretch marks on the skin. They're used for weight loss. They're used for everyday things like cleaning your house, killing mold in the air, for sinus issues, allergies, all of these different things essential oils are used for. So again, they're widely used, and there are many ways to use essential oils. The most common ways are, number one, aromatically. That's where you can buy a diffuser. You can find those easily on a place like Amazon.com. You diffuse these essential oils in the air. That's one way. Another way is topically, simply rubbing essential oil directly on your skin, and you can do it directly, or for some oils you'll want to use what's called a carrier oil, like coconut oil, to dilute it. And just a few oils you'd want to do that with, things like oregano oil or cinnamon oil that are a little bit stronger. You'd want to use a carrier oil with it, which I'll talk about. And also you can take certain essential oils internally, and this is something with some you can do yourself. With others, you'd probably want to be under the care of a doctor of natural medicine, or doctor of functional medicine, or a nutritionist, or somebody who has experience in prescribing and recommending essential oils for internal use. But they can be used that way, and they're cited widely that way in the medical literature. Also, you can use these for personal care products. You can make your own shampoo and deodorant and toothpaste and other things. Actually save money with using essential oils for your own DIY home personal care products. Now, I want to mention this. When buying essential oils, there are many different grades. And when you're buying essential oils, I just want to recommend that you're buying therapeutic grade, or really a therapeutic grade essential oil. Most essential oils available today are synthetic in nature, and in that case, they're really toxic to the body. If you look at most fragrances or perfumes or colognes out there today, those are, or candles. You smell a candle. Those are synthetic essential oils. Those are toxic to the body. There are also food-grade essential oils. So the FDA has approved essential oils for internal consumption. Now, most of the time when the FDA approves them, they're typically approved to be used as a flavoring or a preservative. And most food essential oils are not therapeutic. They simply have a flavor or a scent to them. And then you have therapeutic oils. And these are the type of oils that have been used for thousands of years as natural medicine, and the type of essential oil that I'm going to recommend you use as we go through this. And if you do have questions and you're wondering, Dr. Axe, what essential oil do you use, and you're not already connected to a great brand, you can always email me at oils@draxe.com. But when I talk about the program later on, if you do have more questions, we can even recommend different oils and even companies for you to use later on. But let's jump right in and talk about the best essential oils to have stocked in your medicine cabinet. I'm going to go over my favorites. And number one here is lavender essential oil. Now, I think this is amazing, but in the Bible, Lavender essential oil is referenced, according to researchers, as spikenard. And there's a story in the Bible where they actually say that that bottle of oil was worth a year's wages. That's how valuable essential oils were worth in the Bible. And lavender oil is all things calming to the body. It's amazing for your mood and for your skin. And so for mood, it's been shown to relieve anxiety. It's been shown to help you overcome insomnia, improve sleep, help with cortisol levels, so it can actually act as an adaptogenic herb. It's amazing. So lavender essential oil, all things to improve your mood, fight anxiety, depression, relax your body. This oil is when my wife and I have a diffuser by our bed, and we diffuse it in the air before bed, or we just kind of rub it on our necks, but it's great for winding down before sleep. Another thing I've had my patients do for years is take lavender oil, mix it with Epsom salts, so 1 cup of Epsom salts, 20 drops of lavender oil, putting that on yourself and then getting in the bath, soaking in the bath for 20 minutes, and it is amazing for helping relax tense muscles, balancing out cortisol, and healing the body. In fact, all of my patients with digestive disease, autoimmune issues, any of those health problems, I recommend that they take that detox bath with lavender oil, or chamomile oil is great as well at night. Lavender also is also great to use on your skin. In fact, there was a French scientist who had third-degree burns on his arms and from chemical burns, and he soaked his arm in lavender oil, and after a couple weeks, what should have been a scarred arm had no sign of scarring, and everything was completely healed in his arm. And that really started many people in French medicine, to start using essential oils therapeutically in that way. But this is one where, whether you have a health condition or not, it should be in your medicine cabinet. If your child or you yourself get a cut, a scrape, a burn, this can go on topically. It's the number one oil for healing burns and cuts and issues topically. If you or a family member have eczema or psoriasis or dermatitis or any sort of red flaking skin or even acne, lavender oil is great for those conditions at soothing and healing inflamed skin. Also, lavender improves mood. It can help with bug bites or bee stings. But lavender oil, one of my favorites, one that I use pretty much every single day. One of my other favorite oils is lemon oil, and lemon oil is sort of everything clean and fresh. I've taken care of a large amount of famous musicians here in Nashville, everything from popular country artists to independent artists to Christian musicians, and many of them I've had come in over the years who have lost their voice or have had inflamed vocal cords, and I had them do a concoction of where they took raw honey with lemon oil, and they would use that in their throat several times a day. So raw local honey with lemon oil can soothe a sore throat. Also, lemon oil is a natural detoxifier. It's been shown to detoxify the gallbladder and the liver and the lymphatic system. So adding just a few drops of lemon oil to your water is great for naturally fighting any sort of immune-related issue, and great for detoxification. Also, it's been used in promoting weight loss. And by the way, lemon oil, something interesting, it doesn't come from the inner flesh of the lemon. It actually all comes from the lemon peel. And the peel is where the highest levels of antioxidants are, and a compound called D-limonene, which there are many medical journals out there proving that it has incredible benefits for cleansing the body. Now, the other thing my wife and I use lemon for is we mix it with melaleuca oil, also known as tea tree oil, and we use it for cleaning our house. We wipe down our stainless steel appliances, our granite countertops, but lemon oil is great for all of those things as well. One of my other favorite oils is peppermint oil, and I think this is incredible. When I started reading up on essential oils years ago, I read a book called Healing Oils of the Bible, and in reading it, I was just amazed, and I thought to myself, you know what, I wonder how much this has been studied and researched in prestigious medical journals. And so I went online and I started doing my research in the medical journals, and I was blown away. When I looked on PubMed, I found on peppermint oil alone, there are over 1,000 medical studies just on peppermint oil. And one of the studies that I came across was on it being an effective on the treatment of inflammatory bowel disease, or IBS. That's irritable bowel syndrome. So those with diarrhea, constipation, any sort of bowel issue, leaky gut, peppermint oil is a great essential oil to use. It's also a great natural breath freshener. It's been proved medically to improve focus and energy. So I've used it on kids I've worked with ADHD, or people who have chronic fatigue or adrenal fatigue. It's been shown to improve breathing. So if I've had adults or children come down with bronchitis or pneumonia or any sort of sinus issue like allergies, this is an important. You can see why peppermint is another one I recommend everybody stock in their medicine cabinet, because I mean, sometime during the year, yourself or a family member is going to have those issues. Also, one of my favorite ways to use peppermint oil is to relieve headaches. I mix 2 drops of peppermint oil, 2 drops of lavender oil on your fingertips, and then you rub it onto the lateral part of your forehead around your temples and the upper part of your neck. And it's the most immediate way to relieve headaches I've ever used with patients in my entire career. And so again, peppermint oil, another incredible essential oil that you can use on a regular basis. My number 4 essential oil here is Melaleuca, also known as tea tree oil. This is an essential oil that's most commonly grown out of Australia. And tea tree oil can be applied to, it's actually the number 1 oil for acne. And so if you or a family member has any type of acne, mixing raw honey and Melaleuca together to make a natural face cleanser, what you want to do is mix actually, ideally, there's a type of honey called Manuka honey. If not, raw honey is great. Mix them together, rub it on your entire face, leave it on there for about 2 minutes, and then rinse it off. Do that twice a day, and it is so effective at treating blemishes and acne. Also, it's great for the scalp. You can mix it with shampoo and conditioner. I've made natural deodorants with Melaleuca oil because it's antimicrobial, and it's actually my mom years ago, and she hates me telling this, I'm sure, but she came down with a toenail fungus. And from when years before she'd gone through chemotherapy, and we did a lot of things, and to get her microbiome and gut more healthy. But she still had this toenail fungus that didn't go completely away. And then we started doing a mixture of oil of oregano with tea tree oil. And after 2 months, the fungus was completely gone. And so Melaleuca oil is very effective at treating mold and funguses. And by the way, another thing too, we had a flooding here in Nashville years ago, and a lot of people had mold issues in their homes. And I started having them diffuse in the air Melaleuca and clove oil in the air to kill off some of the mold. But again, Melaleuca is great. Also, as I mentioned earlier, you can mix it with lemon oil, with tea tree oil. You can spray down and clean things with it. If you have shoes that smell from running, you can mix Melaleuca and lemon oil to cleanse, to help improve, in any sort of, odor issues, whether that be in shoes or your kids, football or hockey or soccer gear. You can just put it in the garbage disposal or at the bottom of a garbage can. But Melaleuca, the other reason it's unique is oil of oregano and cinnamon oil. They're a little bit harder on the body. For instance, you can't put those oils directly on the skin, and they are antimicrobial. Tea tree oil is just as strong in terms of its antimicrobial and antibacterial properties, but it's also gentle on the body. So again, you can use it right on the skin. And in fact, a lot of people with psoriasis and eczema and dandruff, any sort of scaly red skin, have really spoken so highly of its benefits. So again, that's tea tree oil, also known as Melaleuca. Another incredible oil is oil of oregano. It's a powerful natural immune support. If you ever come down with a cold or flu or get sick, now you don't want to take this for a long time internally, but 3 to 7 days taking this oil internally has been shown to help you kick a cold faster. Another way you can do it, you don't have to do it internally. You can simply mix it with coconut oil and rub it on the bottom of the feet. And it's very effective even in that way. And this is something I forgot to mention about essential oils, but they can be put directly on the skin and get into your bloodstream and system that way. And so again, you can diffuse them in the air which is very common, but also you can put them on your skin. But with oregano oil, you'd want to mix that with coconut oil. So 5 drops of oregano oil, 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, mix those together, and then you can put that on your skin. But as part of my program, actually I have a guide in how I recommend you use oils, which ones you can use topically and which ones you need to dilute if you use topically will be part of the program we'll talk about at the end. And then frankincense essential oil. This is my number one essential oil. It's essential oil that I use most often. I use it every single day. And this oil is the most singly referenced essential oil in the Bible and throughout history. And what's surprising is that the number one way it's been referenced is through spiritual awareness. And the reason that is frankincense contains a compound called boswellia, which is anti-inflammatory. And so if somebody has inflammation anywhere, especially of the brain, frankincense is the most powerful thing you could ever use. And so the reason it's been used for spiritual awareness is if you have any sort of brain inflammation, which almost all of us have some, it can really cause brain fog, cause lack of energy, just cause you to have memory lapses, and just not really cause you to not be able to think as clearly as you normally would. Have you ever struggled with that? You kind of get the end of that you can't remember things, or your just mind's jumbled. It's like you can't think straight. Well, part of that can be neural or brain inflammation, and frankincense helps with that. So one of the things I do in the mornings, I spend time, I get out my Bible, I read and I pray, and I do something called practicing gratefulness and say everything I'm grateful for. And I diffuse frankincense while I'm doing that, and I also practice deep breathing. I do it 7 times. At the start of praying and 7 times at the end. I take 7 deep breaths in, all the way in. I count for 7 seconds in. I hold my breath for 3 seconds, and then I breathe 7 seconds out. I do that 7 times with frankincense oil, just breathing it in, and that is incredibly good for your entire immune system, your colon as well as your lungs, and those are actually connected in Chinese medicine. But frankincense oil, that's something that I practice that really helps clear my brain and reduce inflammation internally. Also, frankincense oil can be used topically to reduce age spots and sunspots. One of the things I've seen my wife do every night before bed for the past 2 years is she gets out an organic company. She really loves their skincare, and she takes about 3 drops of frankincense oil, mixes that in her moisturizer, and then rubs that on her skin. So she makes her own sort of at home, and she does this with myrrh oil too. So she does frankincense and myrrh, adds that to her skincare, and rubs that right into her skin. And she does that to actually prevent age spots and sunspots. But I had a patient start doing this, and they said they noticed dramatic difference. They had sunspots from getting so much sun over the years by their eyes and the side of their face, and so they noticed it got about 70% better by using frankincense oil. Also, frankincense oil can be applied to your neck and your feet to boost the immune system. It's also been medically proven to kill cancer cells. And I actually have an amazing story here. I was teaching a class in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I had a woman come up to me at the end, and she said, I just want to let you know I can attest to the benefits of frankincense. My husband was diagnosed with terminal cancer 6 years ago. And they gave him 3 months to live, and he's still alive. And we believe it's because we got turned on to frankincense. We started using it every day. We started diffusing it, rubbing it on his head. We had him put a few drops on the roof of his mouth, so he put a couple drops on his thumb, then rub it on the roof of his mouth to get it internal faster. And she said, and he's still alive and doing amazing. And she said, frankincense, I really believe, saved my husband's life. And so frankincense oil is the oil that I take for anti-aging. Every single day I breathe it in. Every single day my wife and I use it in our skincare. I believe it's the most powerful essential oil in the entire world today. So many benefits there of frankincense oil. And I want to just take a few minutes now and talk about some specific protocols and ways that you can use essential oils as well. I want to talk about essential oils for skin. Some of the most beneficial essential oils for skin are geranium, frankincense, lavender, and rose oil. And geranium oil is it's a floral oil that a lot of people really aren't familiar with using, but should be. And you can use lavender, which is very beneficial. But the great thing about geranium is it's been shown in medical studies to help relieve congested skin, and actually helps with over oily skin or dry skin. It helps with eczema and dermatitis. Also, it's been shown to balance hormones. And people have used it to reduce wrinkles. They've used it as a muscle toner. In fact, it's kind of like some people in the essential oil world refer to it as sort of like natural Botox. Is using geranium oil with jojoba oil massage actually tones and tightens your muscles. So it's great to use on the face. It's also fantastic for enhancing your skin. But again, it's geranium oil is my number one essential oil that can be used on the skin. I think it's a fantastic oil to use in that way, and so again, that's number one is geranium oil for healthy skin. Frankincense oil, as I mentioned, so geranium oil is really for supporting, tightening and toning the skin. Frankincense oil is my number one oil for helping balance out skin tone. If you have any sort of scars or age spots or sunspots, frankincense oil is the best at also reducing inflammation. Lavender oil is one of the best at calming the skin, as well as rose oil. Rose oil, if you have any sort of inflammatory skin condition, that works very well. Lavender oil is also good for cuts and burns. But again, if you want to have healthier, glowing skin, putting together a mixture of geranium, frankincense, and lavender, those three, and then if you can get rose, that's a great one to do as well. But again, geranium, frankincense, lavender, that's a great combo to use on your skin. And then mix it with what I call carrier oils. Now, here are my top carrier oils for the skin. Number one is coconut oil. Okay, we know coconut oil. It's very easy to use. Most people have it on hand. It's my most used essential oil, carrier oil. But you may also use some other oils. One of my favorites, if you're going to use an oil for anti-aging, pomegranate oil and raspberry seed oil have the highest antioxidant properties, and they've been effective at treating skin cancer. They're also effective essential oils at SPF, so preventing sunburn. So if you go out in the sun very often and want to protect your skin, pomegranate and raspberry seed oil have an SPF of 30, so it can protect your skin from being out in the sun too long. In fact, you can make your own homemade sunscreen, which I have as part of the program guide that teaches you how to do that. Jojoba oil is an essential oil that's the number one oil to help with scarring. So if you have any form of scarring, mixing jojoba with frankincense is very effective. One of my favorite essential oils for having healthy, glowing skin and for the anti-aging properties is argan oil. ARGAN, argan oil, mixing that with essential oils. And then if you want to really moisturize your skin, shea butter is the best thing to mix essential oils with. In fact, if you've got an issue like eczema or psoriasis or really dry skin, mixing shea butter with an oil like geranium and lavender is one of the best things you can do for really hydrating dry skin or helping inflamed skin, because essentially, here's what happens. Essential oils are so effective at penetrating the skin and getting into your system for the healing benefits that you want to typically mix it with, if you want to keep it on the skin, with another oil or something like shea butter, because then it will stay topical longer. So again, those are my favorite carrier oils you may consider using. The next category I want to talk about are essential oils for energy. My favorite is peppermint oil. If you get tired in the afternoon, just keeping peppermint oil in your purse or at your desk or in the car, pulling it out, just taking a few deep breaths in, just 3 deep breaths in through your nostrils, will really invigorate you. It's great. It's a great energy boost. Also, rosemary oil is very, very effective. Rosemary oil actually really acts on the brain and improves memory. So again, remember, rosemary oil has been shown to improve memory. Cinnamon oil is great for energy because it's been shown to balance out something in the body called GTF, that's glucose tolerance factor. Now, I've recommended cinnamon oil to my patients for years who have diabetes or who want to lose weight as well. But cinnamon oil is incredible for blood glucose levels, and I have them just do 1 single drop of cinnamon oil in a warm smoothie for breakfast, and it's very effective. And then black pepper. There's actually a black pepper essential oil. The great thing about that is it actually helps other herbs and compounds be better absorbed into the bloodstream. So again, black pepper oil is very effective for that, as well as increasing your energy levels. The next category is oils for brain health. Vetiver oil is best for the brain. There was actually a study done on children with ADD and ADHD. They found vetiver oil had a 100% effective rating on improving learning and brain function on kids with ADHD. That's incredible. The next oil in that study was cedarwood. It had a 83% effective rating. So of all the oils in the study, those two were by far the most effective. Now, the other thing I want to mention about vetiver is it can be used in the treatment of tremors and tics in different neurological issues like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and dementia. So vetiver oil is one you can definitely use for that. Frankincense oil is also great for brain health. I read a case study on somebody who was in a severe car accident, and another study on where somebody had a concussion, and frankincense helped improve healing and recovery time from concussions and brain inflammation. And then wild orange oil is great as well. And I want you to mention this. Vanderbilt Hospital here in Nashville used wild orange oil for people that were struggling with anxiety and depression, or specifically fear related to going into surgery. And they still diffuse wild orange oil today in Vanderbilt and other essential oils like lavender to help reduce anxiety for patients who are going in for surgery. So incredible using those oils together. And something else, I had a professor come up to me who said, Dr. Axe, I want to let you know I have a secret formula for my students to help them focus on tests. And I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, I mix vetiver oil, cedarwood oil, and peppermint oil together, and I diffused that during my test, and I found it improved the test scores of my students during tests. So again, I think that's an incredible thing, and there's so many great ways to use these essential oils. And one other tip here, essential oils for cancer. Now, many of you guys have probably seen the article on my website, or if you just do a Google search, Dr. Axe frankincense cancer, but you'll see I've written an article on frankincense oil for cancer. And there are 4 medical studies proving frankincense oil is effective at treating breast cancer, colon cancer, cervical cancer, and I believe skin cancer as well. So it's and brain tumors. And so frankincense oil, very effective in the treatment of cancer in medical studies. And again, one of the best ways to get this in the system is a couple drops on your thumb and rub it on the roof of your mouth. The reason that is your sinus cavity is connected to the roof of your mouth, and it will stay there, and you'll continually bring those oil-based compounds into your nerve system. And when you think about cancer today, if somebody especially has a brain tumor, they found that they can't use chemotherapy because it cannot pass through the blood-brain barrier, where frankincense oil actually can. I think that's amazing. And so again, frankincense oil, very effective in the treatment because it can pass through the blood-brain barrier and targets tumors. The other oil is sandalwood oil. This is one that's been shown to be effective at treating both internal cancers as well as skin cancer. So if you have any sort of skin spots or sunspots, sandalwood oil is very effective. Also, as a side note, sandalwood oil is terrific for hormones. It actually helps balance testosterone in men. It's been used as an aphrodisiac throughout the Middle East and Asia for centuries. So that's very effective as well. Thyme essential oil has been shown to have a 97% effective rating against breast cancer cells. So thyme oil is incredible, especially at hormone-based issues, because it has what are called proprogesterones. So one of our problems today is most of us have too much estrogen in our bodies and too little progesterone. Well, in order to boost progesterone levels, one of the best natural treatments is to do thyme essential oil on a regular basis. Other essential oils that have been proven to be effective against cancer are lavender oil. I believe lavender oil is effective because it reduces cortisol levels and emotional stress. And cypress oil is effective because it increases circulation in the body, which speeds up the healing process. So those are 5 of the most commonly recommended essential oils in the treatment of cancer. Now, I promised you guys this. I want to talk about just a few DIY recipes, and one of them here is my rosemary sage shampoo. Rosemary oil has been shown to be the #1 shampoo to thicken your hair, and the reason it works in two ways. One way is it blocks something called DHT. Any male that's having what's called male pattern baldness, that's caused by increased dihydroxytestosterone or DHT production by the body. So again, rosemary oil helps block that and stops you with hair loss. The next thing rosemary does is it stimulates the growth of new hair follicles. So, and just naturally thickens the hair. So again, rosemary oil, and then sage oil helps in the very similar way, to where it helps naturally balance hormones, including progesterone and estrogen, and then on top of that, stimulates new follicle growth. So here's the recipe. You're going to take 6 ounces of aloe vera gel, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 5 tablespoons of baking soda, 20 drops of rosemary oil, and 10 drops of sage oil. So that's it, just 5 ingredients: aloe vera, olive oil, baking soda, rosemary oil, and sage oil. Get a BPA-free plastic container, or even preferably a glass container. Mix these ingredients together and it will last you 2 months. But use this as your natural shampoo, and I will tell you, you will notice your hair will thicken up using this rosemary sage shampoo recipe. Again, I've seen this work in many wondrous ways. Okay, a few other DIY home recipes here for you. I want to talk about a homemade sunburn spray. If you ever get a sunburn, basically you're going to take water, lavender oil, frankincense oil, and peppermint oil, or just water, lavender, and peppermint. And lavender oil helps soothe burnt skin. Peppermint oil helps really cool off inflammation, but both of those are very effective as well. Oh, an essential oil for, I think this is great. It's a homemade muscle rub. If you've got sore muscles, this is so effective. You're going to take a half a cup of coconut oil, 1/4 a cup of beeswax, 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, 15 drops of peppermint oil, 15 drops of lavender oil. Mix them in a glass jar, and if you ever get a sore muscle, just rub it on the area. And whether it's arthritis or any sort of joint pain or muscle pain whatsoever, this homemade muscle rub is very effective.